so aggressive. National Superhero Day was started by Marvel Comics in 1995 as a way to celebrate heroes. It's a day marked to celebrate the heroes that live between the pages of our comic books, but also the ones in our everyday lives. Of course, when thinking of the word superhero, it's easy for us to automatically think of characters like Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Black Panther. How can we not, with how full of supers our pop culture is, from comics to movies, merchandise, to even the most coveted Funko Pops that many of us collect. But on the topic of heroes, whether they're wearing kevlar or spandex, scrubs or a fire helmet, it's a no-brainer that we recognize the inspiration they bring and the change they enact, especially those outside the pages of a comic book. This week, the Cohen Group Northwest shares their favorite comic book characters, in addition to saying thank you to these very important real-life heroes. Time to call up the team. Cohen Group Northwest, assemble.
I believe my favorite comic book character is Jean Grey, specifically when she becomes the Phoenix. It was quite amazing to see her wield that kind of power, and in comic book world, it was pretty much the biggest one, right? And then see how wielding that power can be for good or bad, and you have to make that choice.
Professor X, he's got his own talents, but he also keeps the team together and sort of level-headed and trying to be I guess a teacher or a guide or a mentor for people, and I like to be that for buyers and sellers. Sort of their guide with the process or helping them weigh the pros and cons of their different decisions. So yeah, I think I don't look good with a bald head, but I think Professor X would probably be my superhero that I'd most assimilate with.
I've always loved Batman because he was an example of a non-superhero who chose to make a difference with the privileges and the powers that he was given. And then, like many of the other superheroes, Captain America is an excellent example about how character matters first and power comes second.
Rachel! Is that her name, Rachel?
I think so, yeah.
Just yelling a random name. Cindy! Gotta go with my boy Batman. He's the epitome of grit and hard work. I mean, he's got the gadgets, he's got the billionaire lifestyle, but ultimately when he's Batman, he's not necessarily getting things done all that smoothly, but he gets them done. So he gets beat up in the process, he gets outsmarted by the Joker and the Riddler and the Penguin, but ultimately he's a hard worker, and even though he can be shed in a negative light sometimes, he's ultimately got Gotham's best interest in mind. He's not the hero that we want, he's the hero that we need.
Okay, see, this is the thing. I've given this some thought, and comic book characters. Female comic book characters have not historically been my favorite, and mainly because, like, there's a piece of me that reads them and I'm like, okay, there is no way she's jumping that 30-foot cliff in a bikini or in like some skin tight outfit or in high heels. Like, it's crazy to me. So while there may be comic book characters out there that are a little more contemporary, I would hope, than some of the historic characters, I have yet to find one. But back in the day, I will say that I don't think this counts, but Jem and the Holograms, I was a big fan. Big fan. Not the revamp. You got to go OG on Jem.
This might not count, but I just watched The Matrix, and Neo from The Matrix he's dope. I mean, I'll just like put the bending in right now. I'll edit that in. I don't know, like how is that not cool? Yeah, Neo.
If you know me personally, you know that I am probably one of the biggest comic book geeks, nerds, doofuses on the planet. And it's really hard for me to pick a favorite superhero. I mean, we've got Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Thor, Hawkeye, we've got Falcon, we've got Batman, Captain Marvel, Groot. I mean, I just love them all. I just love them all.
My real life superheroes are the men and women in our community that are involved in community mental health services, social services, human services. Oftentimes it is a thankless job, and you are out there doing some of the toughest work and some of the most important work, because early intervention and prevention end up resulting in a healthier society and a better place to live for all of us.
My heroes, especially after the last year or so, have to be teachers and professors. As someone who's a college student myself, like many other students, I have felt significant burnout from school, but I've been super blessed and grateful to have such phenomenal professors who are leading the charge and making education possible. And I often think of a lot of people in my life who I personally know who are elementary, middle, high school teachers and counselors, people like Rachel and Mary and Kelly, who genuinely have their students' best interest at heart and have worked so incredibly hard and are sometimes very underappreciated for all the hard work they do to make education happen and to still provide a safe space for students everywhere.
The people that I want to give thanks to are the people who are in the restaurant industry, people who are washing dishes, bussing tables, going the extra mile and making sure that things are clean and that it's safe for the public to go back to restaurants, because I'm sick and tired of cooking my own food and I'm sick and tired of Eggos in the morning, and I'm just so happy that it's opening up.
Over the last year, I would say a superhero to me has definitely been the baristas, keeping me caffeinated, so I'm always at the different showings and stuff, wide awake to answer any questions for the buyers or sellers. Just as over the last few months with how cold it's been, standing there at the different drive-up stands, specifically I go to Mugshots, so all the people there have been always cheerful and have my order ready, and dealing with the cold and standing by the open windows and stuff, they're always in a good mood. So my superheroes have definitely been the baristas of Whatcom County.
This Superhero Day, I want to thank the workers at all of our assisted living and care facilities here in Bellingham and Whatcom County. You're taking care of all of our grandparents right now when a lot of us can't reach out to them directly. We can't be with each other in ways that we've been in the past, and family gatherings look a little bit different. And you've been the ones that are facilitating those Zoom calls and coordinating those meetings out in the front yard and being the family right there that we couldn't. So thank you.
When I think about superheroes, I think about the frontline workers, specifically working with elderly. COVID has made it really hard to interact with these people, being that they're at such risk of contracting and living through a COVID case. Anybody working in a nursing home or any kind of care facility, I think a lot about adult family homes, because that's the business that my mom is in. They've had to deal with a lot more restrictions than your average person, and being shut inside these facilities or in their own homes if they have something like an adult family home, and not being able to be in the public at all has been really taxing. Think about it, we've been in this for a year now, going on more, and we're just now easing up. So where have these people been this last year? They've been stuck inside, trying to do their best to protect themselves and then protect their clients. My real life superhero would be my mom. She's made a ton of sacrifices over the last year to make sure that her clients are cared for and are healthy, and it's been amazing to see her put aside her own wants and preferences in order to put these people first.
During these crazy times, there are so many people that I look up to, and I'm just blown away by how committed they are to making sure that we can get through this together. And for me, one of the most obvious heroes in my life are all the healthcare workers that are here locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, everybody that's working together to make sure that not only is this vaccine spread to everybody, but also that we can get back on track so society gets back to normal. Some specific people in my life are my beautiful wife, Em, who is an X-ray tech, and our friends Kelly Snell, who is an RN, and Kristen Nelson, and she is the head of the birthing center at Peace Health here locally in Bellingham. So huge shout out to you all for working those long hours, dealing with difficult people, dealing with people that need your help more than anything right now. So thank you.
And that's a wrap on assembling the Avengers with the Cohen Group Northwest. Thank you to our heroes for the marvelous difference you make every single day.